had brothers, we done had sisters that was once with us, that adversary then crept in through various avenues and it took them away. You know what I'm saying? On a path that it might be hard for them to get back away from. You know what I'm saying? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay the foundation as far as this war that we are engaged in, spiritual war. So we're gonna get some understanding on that. So let's open up with 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter and the 1st verse. This is going to be the little foundational this week, you know what I'm saying? And then we're going to go in depth with some of the doctrines and the lies of the adversary that they have found themselves trapped in. It's you know, when you engage in any war, there's three things that you must understand. First, knowing who you are at war with, how your enemy operates, how he comes, you know what I'm saying, what you got to deal with on that level, and what weapons you're going to need to fight and eventually win that war against that enemy. So we're going to deal with those three categories today. But let's open it up with 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter and the 1st verse.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and 1. This know also that in the last days.
In the what?
The last days.
The last days. Read.
Perilous times shall come.
So we know that this is definitely speaking about our times. This was written close to 2,000 years ago. And we know that time has elapsed. Things have evolved according to the adversary, according to this prophecy in general. And we see that we are definitely in the last days. But let's get some more understanding on that. What did he say was going to take place in the last days? Read.
Perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
And we know that this is taking place high level. Men, according to this system, is being promoted to love themselves on all areas. All the way down up to the fact that now men are believing that, hey, we're gods. We got certain understanding, certain knowledges. We are beyond the creator. You know what I'm saying? There is no creator. We are the ones. The lovers of themselves. Read.
Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection.
Without natural affection. We see that today. The basic understanding of love is gone. Iniquity wax so much, in fact, that people don't have the basic camaraderie no more. You know what I'm saying? Neighbors don't deal with each other no more. So this is showing you we definitely in these days are spoken of right here. Read.
Truce breakers.
Truce breakers. Read.
False accusers. Incontinent. Fierce. Despisers of those that are good.
Despisers of those that are good. And we know that that's true. When we come into this truth, you walk this thing out, they're going to despise you. They look at you like you are a complete Martian or something. Read.
Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than the lovers of the Most High.
They love pleasure more than they love the Most High. We know the society pushes that wholesale. They don't teach to love the Most High. They teach love all forms of pleasure. That's completely contrary to the word of the Most High. Read.
Having a form of good godliness, but denying the power thereof.
And we know that that's taking place in the religious system today. They have a form of quote-unquote faithfulness or godliness. They claim they believe in him, but they deny the power of. They don't believe that there's a judgment coming. They don't believe none of these things. They don't do anything that the Heavenly Father says to do. Meaning they don't have no fear of him. Read.
From such turn away.
So we are to turn away from that. Read.
For of this sort are they which creep into houses.
Okay, that's good. Stop. Drop that. Let's go to Isaiah 33 and the 6th verse. So we see all of those indicators right there that we definitely in these last days. All of those categories are being fulfilled today. But we have something that's going to be our anchor. Let's see what it is. Isaiah 33 and 6.
Yeshayahu, Isaiah chapter 33 and 6.
What that mean in the Hebrew, brother?
Isaiah.
I already mean Isaiah. All right.
And wisdom and knowledge.
And what?
And wisdom and knowledge.
And wisdom and knowledge. Keep that in mind. Read.
Shall be the stability of thy times.
So wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. Travis, what is the definition of wisdom? Didn't mean to put you on blast like that. I apologize. Bro, what's the definition of wisdom?
Hold on, wait. Knowing the Most High commandments and following.
That's a very good definition. Basically, knowing good and evil, knowing the difference between the two. That's what wisdom is. And wisdom in what?
Stability of thy times and strength and salvation. The fear of the Most High is treasures.
The fear of the Most High is treasure. So wisdom and knowledge shall be your stability. We need to know the proper way how to walk in front of the Most High and having knowledge. So having knowledge of this war that we are engaged in, that's behind the scenes being fought against us, that's going to hold us down. And knowing that we have salvation in the Most High, if we stay diligent and we stay faithful, that's going to give you stability. When all this war is encamped against us. So let's open it up. Let's figure out who we are at war with. Let's go to Revelations 12 and the 17th verse. Let's uncover who we are at war with on the spiritual level. We understand that
12 and 17.
We understand that based on the fact that we know we the children of Israel, we know that we have a lot of physical enemies in the form of nations. But those nations are being brought against us, led by the spiritual realm. So let's get an understanding of that. Who we really are at war with. Revelations 12 and 17.
Chazon, from Revelations 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth.
And who?
And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Who's the dragon?
Ha-Satan.
Elder Mar, who's the dragon? Huh? The devil. Exactly. Read that from the top.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
Who is the woman?
12 tribes of Israel.
Israel? Exactly. Y'all sharp. Very sharp. Read.
Which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Hamashiach.
So the dragon, the devil, as Elder Martin called him, the doer of evil, the chief adversary that we have behind the scenes, he is at war with the remnant of us, the seed of Israel, and those that join them to the house that do what?
That keep the commandments of the Most High.
And what else?
And have the testimony of Hamashiach.
So that's the foundation right there. That's who we are really at war with. But let's drive it home. Let's go back. Let's take it back to the beginning. Genesis 3 and 15.
He really is getting simple with this joint. He really is getting simple with this boy. I'm saying, like, the lesson, man. On point.
Bereshit 3 and 15. Genesis. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed.
So this is where the war that we find ourselves in today, this is where it began. In the garden aspect. That's where it started. And we see back in Revelations how it manifested. Let's go to 1 Peter 5 and 8. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Getting that understanding that who we are at war with.
First Simon. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober. Be vigilant.
So we are commanded, we are taught, we are given great wisdom to be sober in spirit and in body, and be vigilant. What does vigilant mean? Be
Ready for war.
ready for war, like a vigilante. They ready to get busy. So be sober and be vigilant. Read.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary,
Your what?
Your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
So this is why we are commanded to be sober and to be vigilant, because we have an adversary that walks around like a hungry, roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And unfortunately, we seeing as is increasing in these last days, our brothers and our sisters are being ate by this cat because they don't have a solid foundation. They're not sticking close to the Most High's word. They're not sticking close to brothers that's really sincere about the thing. They want to come up against them and so on and so forth. It's getting real thick. And our people are losing their understanding with that. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. For the new people, this will be coming out of the Apocrypha, the books that they call themselves taken out of the scriptures. Did y'all get some understanding to the new people? Sister, y'all sisters familiar with the Apocrypha?
I don't have one, but I'm
You familiar with it? Okay. Yeah, you know they took it out, right? In the 1920s, I believe.
Yeah, if you got that, you can go to the 17, 16 version.
Yeah, 1611, definitely.
They read straight English
Yeah.
right there.
We're gonna go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, and the 28th verse.
I had that junk on my phone.
Chapter 2 and 1.
For your new people, it's definitely, imperative that get your hands on it, because there's a lot of information that they took out of here that they don't want you to understand, basically. Okay.
You say 2 and 11.
2 and 28. Who has that? Amazon?
I think you can get them from like Barnes and Noble too for like
Wisdom of Solomon
$7.
chapter 2.
I think I
we're
only
gonna pick
paid
it up
like
at the 28th
$7
verse.
for mine. Squab got that annotated one.
24, bro.
How much was that annotated?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 23.
Yeah, 23.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 and 23. My mistake.
You said you got the 2?
Yeah, I had it. I don't know why.
2 and 23?
Yeah, 2 and 23.
I thought I had something wrong. How much that
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. For the Most High created man to be immortal.
So just like Choir went over a couple weeks, the Most High initially created us to have long-lasting immortal life, meaning we would have never died. But the adversary was upset at that. Read.
For the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
So we know because the adversary is upset with the Most High, he's seen that he made man in his image as well. He's like, oh my God, I want to destroy them as well, because he wants to destroy the Most High if he could. We know that he can't. But in his mind, his own twisted mind, he feels that, hey, he wants to get him off the scene. So this is why he's making this war against us, because we can be put to death. Read.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil.
Through what?
Through envy of the devil came death into the world.
So because of his envy, that's where death came in. That's where he sat back and said, okay, I'm going to calculate this war. I'm going to cause them to sin. And the Most High is eventually going to have to put them to death. Because the Most High is not dealing with when we walk in iniquity. He ain't dealing with that. This is surefire death sentence for that. Finish that out.
And they that do hold of his side do find
So
it.
those that stay on the adversary's side, you don't get on the right side of the war, you're going to find death. So now we know who we are at war with. Let's take a look at how he operates. Ephesians 6 and 12.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That whole thing. That whole
Ephesians 6 and 12.
I don't know this one in the Hebrew, so
You don't know the Ephesians, huh?
Ephesians.
It's Ephesians. It's Greek. You know what I'm saying?
Chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
So our first and foremost battle is not against what we see with our own two eyes. It's behind the scenes, behind the curtain, as my Aquab called it. That's what we are really at war with. Read.
But against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So all of those are certain categories of the fallen angelic realm that are stationed, that make war against us. All of these fallen angels have certain areas that they are in charge of to come against those that believe in the Most High and to rule over all the realm of the earth. Let's prove that. Let's go to Daniel 10 real quick. Let's get a glimpse of this war behind the scenes. up at the first verse.
Daniel chapter 10 and 1. In the 3rd year of Cyrus king of Persia, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, whose name was called Belteshazzar. The thing was true, but the time appointed was long, and he understood the thing, and had understanding of the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks.
So Daniel, after receiving this vision, he was mourning for 3 full weeks. He's mourning and he's praying to the Most High. He wasn't quite getting the answer right away. Read.
In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 full weeks. I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth. Neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled.
Drop down to the 10th verse. Let's scroll through it.
Verse 10. And behold, a hand touched me, when set me upon my knees and upon the palms of my hand. And he said unto me, O Daniel, a man greatly beloved, understand the words that I speak unto thee, and stand upright, for unto thee I am now sent. And when he had spoken this word unto me, I stood trembling. Then said he unto me, Fear not, Daniel, for from the first day that thou didst set thine heart to understand and to chasten thyself before the Most High, thy words were heard, and I am come for thy words.
So he mourned for 3 full weeks, which is 21 days. But this angel right here is telling him that from the first day that he set himself to pray and seek the Most High's face, that prayer was heard. But why he didn't receive an answer right away, and we're going to see why. Read on.
But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days.
The who?
The prince of Persia withstood me 21 days.
That represents a principality. This prince of Persia is a fallen angel behind the scenes that was controlling the realm of Persia. And he withstood that answer coming back to Daniel. So Daniel could be comforted. Read.
But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me and remained there with the king of Persia.
So it was war going on right there. So showing you behind the scenes that there is war going on that we cannot see with the naked eye. If we was able to actually see it, most of us probably would faint if we could, really see what was going on behind the scenes. You got something you want to add?
No.
Let's go to Revelations 12 and 10. So based on the fact that we cannot see it, this adversary right here is spiritually understood. He moves in stealth, knowing that our 2 naked eyes, you can't physically see him. So that gives him the stealth capability. Let's check out another aspect of how he gets down. Revelations 12 and 10.
Revelations chapter 12 and 10. And I heard a loud voice from Shamaim. Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brother is For the accuser of our brother is cast down, which accused them before the Most High day and night.
You see that? So that's another aspect that the adversary uses against us. We cannot see him, and he's constantly accusing us before the Most High. Like, look at what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Did you see that? You see this? Let me come against them. Just like he did with Job. He wants to be able to have that ability to come against each and every last one of us. That's why he is accusing us. That's why it's imperative that we have to walk according to the Most High's laws and the testimony of his Son, so we don't give him anything to work with. Okay? Let's go to Luke chapter 4. We're going to see that this word has been given to the adversary for a short duration of time. So he's moving in stealth. He constantly accuses us. And he has a small measure of rulership today. Luke 4, 5 and 7. 5 through 7, rather.
Luke chapter 4 and 5. And the devil, taking him up in a high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time.
So this is the Mashiach right here, being tempted of the adversary and taken to a high pinnacle of a mountain where he could see all the kingdoms before him. What was Shaitan doing right here?
It was basically like showing Jay-Z and them, look, See the Trump's Tower? This can be yours. You see this? You want to take trips to the Mediterranean, you want to go here and there, I'll give it to you.
Right.
That's what he's doing.
Basically, trying to get the king of Israel, to fall before him and give him worship. The Mashiach had did that, it would have been a wrap for us. But he was strong, and we're going to see how he was strong. Read on.
And the devil said unto him, all this power...
All this what?
All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them.
So he tempted the Mashiach right here. I will give you all this power and the glory. Just like he said with Jay-Z and all that. Look here, man, I'm gonna make them records sell. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have all the cash, all the whatever you want. I will give it to you if you do what?
All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will I give it. If thou therefore will worship me, all shall be thine.
You see that? So that's the key right there. He wants worship. So that's what we supposed to do, and don't fall into this guy's traps. Let's go to 1 John, the second chapter. Since we see that he has a little small power of rulership over this world right now, we've been given some great advice by the apostles that walk with the Mashiach. 1 John 2 and 15.
1 John 2 and 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
So that's why we commanded, don't love this world. It's ran by the enemy, and if you love it, you ain't dealing with the Heavenly Father. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. Drop down to the 16th verse.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
Hold that. Sorry, hold that right there. Let's pick up 2 Corinthians 2 and 11 real quick before we go into the 16th verse. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Now we're about to get into some of his main tools that he uses us to fall into the love of this world.
You say 2 Corinthians?
Yeah, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11.
2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
So this is why it's imperative that we study in this thing right here. Don't let Satan let these devices ruin you. You have to have knowledge of that and wisdom. So this is why we're going through this, so we can have that. So his devices won't be successful against us. So let's go back to 1 John 2 and 16.
You said you gotta know the weapon.
Huh?
You said, like you said, you gotta know the weapon.
Exactly. We're going to get into that.
1 John 2 and 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
The lust of the flesh. Let's hold that and let's get into the scriptures and see one of our foreparents that this weapon of the adversary was used against. Let's go to Judges, the 16th verse, 16th chapter rather. We're going to look at our big brother Samson, one of the strongest brother we have had in Israel as far as physical strength. And why was he so strong?
Why?
Why was Samson so strong?
It's obedience.
Exactly.
Every time he did it, it wasn't his hair. It was because he was obedient. Yeah.
Judges 16, and we'll pick it up at the first verse. We're going to see how the lust of the flesh was used as a tool to bring down one of the strongest brothers we had in our history.
16 what?
We'll pick it up at the first verse.
Judges chapter 16 and 1. Then went Samson to Gaza, and saw there an harlot, and went in unto her.
So we see right here that our brother already had a problem with the flesh. He dealing with harlots. Now that's something that we ain't supposed to be doing. That to take your understanding away quickly. All right? But she wasn't the one that got to him. Drop down to the 4th verse.
Judges chapter 16 and 4. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of S.W.O.R.D.S, whose name was Delilah.
So Delilah, this is where the issue came at. This is what the adversary used, because he's lusting over these women right here. We started off with the first to show you Samson had a problem with the women. Right? So he takes on this Hamite woman right here. That's going to be his downfall because he's lusting of the flesh. Read on.
And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him, and see where his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver.
So they didn't step to his lady and say, look here, find out his weakness, we'll pay you. Just let us know so we can get at this brother. But who was really behind the scenes? The adversary. Read on.
And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and where wilt thou mightiest be bound to afflict thee?
So she's asking, brother, why are you so strong? Why can you beat up so many people and nobody can stop you? You know what I'm saying? If she really loved the brother, she wouldn't have did this thing. But because of mammon, the love of money, she was easy prey. And that was the adversary making war against him. Let's drop down to the 15th verse. You read all the way down, you'll see. Eventually she laid down on Samson and he eventually gave it up. He was playing with it for a minute. Like wrap me up with a rope and do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? He played games with it. He didn't divulge his secret. You know what I'm saying? He was smart at first, but because of that lust of the flesh, he didn't want to lose this woman. He ended up giving it up. Drop down to the 15th verse.
Verse 15. And she said unto him, how canst thou say, I love thee, when thine heart is not with me?
And now she playing games on the brother. You say you love me. You don't love me. All these times I didn't try to get you trapped up with these dudes. It just didn't work. You know what I'm saying? His brother folded over though. Read on.
Thou hast mocked me 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death.
So what did Samson do right here? He didn't stay strong. He didn't remain. Exactly. This brother did not stay strong and use those vital weapons that he had, which was the obedience and faith in the Most High. He didn't use these things. He fell out. It said, read that verse again.
And it came to pass when she pressed him daily.
So every day she pressing down on this brother. And what?
With her words, and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death.
So this brother was sick to death, like B said, shut up. He should have told her to beat it. You know what I'm saying? Because why are you trying to bind me? What is this? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You supposed to be my woman. What are you doing? But he didn't do that.
I just want to know. I ain't know me, man.
Exactly. Read on, brother.
That he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there have not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto the Most High from my mother's womb.
So now he didn't open up his secret to his spiritual strength. His father and his mother were commanded to make him a Nazarite from his youth. And they followed that commandment. Samson followed that commandment. But now, because of the lust of the flesh, he didn't want to lose this woman who was trapping him up. He fell completely off. Read on.
If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man.
So he laid open the door. Okay, go ahead, take away my strength. I'm not going to follow that commandment anymore. And that was the fall off point. And that's how Satan tries to get us with the lust of the flesh. Try to lure you with anything that you might be lusting after to pull you away from keeping the commandments of the Most High, so he can come in and ruin you. Drop down to the 23rd verse. Now this is the key here. This is why we know that behind the scenes, this was the adversary moving on Samson. Read that 23rd verse from the top.
Verse 23. Then the lords of the Philistines.
So the lords of the Philistines, these mean the rulers. So what do the rulers today do when they want to have power over whatever the situation may be? The quote unquote Illuminati, what do?
Oh, they get the athletes and they come at you with the women.
And they go sacrificing to their gods. You know what I'm saying? They do all of these things so they can have power over you. Read.
Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon, their god, and to rejoice, for they said, our God have delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands.
You see that? So they went and gave props to their God.
Your anxiety.
Of what?
Fine.
Yeah, conquered that.
Right.
We interrupt.
Right, exactly.
And now he has to relearn how to be man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's just like
with Little Richard. When he first got saved, you guys remember that when he converted and he stopped being all flamboyant and stuff. He was manly, a deep voice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just really like, whoa.
Wow,
You still put that makeup on?
I never saw it.
He wasn't supposed to
stopped
go
the
back
makeup
and,
too?
sing anymore or anything like that in the world, but as soon as he took that worldly contract again,
Turned him up.
right back up to that same spirit, and now he all out there again. But it's the same thing. But he's weak, yeah.
He alive still?
I don't know if he's still alive or not. Is he?
I think he alive.
I remember that.
I don't remember when he
got
came
he
on.
got bitter for real. With that money and the pride of life and all that, pulled him right back into the
He
world.
took the Jerry curl out too?
Right.
All of that.
Just like
They had the rock waves.
just
I never knew that.
It's like Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying? She denounced all that stuff, and then they snatched her back in, and she was looking awful.
Yeah. They just put her in prison.
Yeah, for taxes.
Yeah. Just put her in prison.
Mental hospital too. They said,
Hey, you want me to plug it up?
Yeah, see, they might not even reach though.
talk against the government.
Right.
So they put her in.
But I want to play this next clip to show you, like B mentioned.
I'm gonna tell you this. Even as not as extreme as being homosexual, but when you come into, the understanding of the truth, a lot of times you have to learn how to play your position as a man and as a woman. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that you may have done in the past as a man or a woman. Not, like I said, not to the extreme of being homosexual, but it could have been as far as like you just really don't know how to play your role as a man or know how to play a role as a woman as far as being the head or as far as being submissive, that you have to, the same thing, you have to learn it.
Right.
The same thing, you have to learn it.
Yeah, I want to play this next clip in regards to this war. It shows the war. You know what I'm saying? Like this brother then publicly came out and said, "Yo, I'm renouncing this homosexuality. I'm trying to follow the truth." Not only is he dropping that, but he didn't came to the understanding of who he is, and that's a key right there. But what TMZ B mentioned earlier, that TMZ was at first giving him props. They wouldn't even let me download like the audio and video together. So I'm gonna just play the audio. But check out the clip that came from off of TMZ, how they mocked him. How Satan is known in scripture also as the prince of the power of the air. So he knows he manipulates all this technology, all the media systems in order to bring forth his agenda. But let's check out what they did to him on TMZ.
This program for the most shocking news ever. Antoine Dodson, that famous YouTube star who said, "Had your kids, had your wife, and had your husband because they raping everybody out here," has come out as straight. Wait a second. What about this? The first thing I bought was a Gucci bag. And this. Hey, shut up. And oh yeah, this. I'm openly gay. I think people knew that about 1 second in your video. Okay, we're confused. And it sounds like Antoine is too.
He has made a very important announcement. He is no longer gay.
Yes, hide your vaginas and your boobies, because Antoine Dodson has announced he's officially switching teams.
He says that he is now going to be focused on a wife, a family, is focused on God.
He needs God, so he's now straight. Okay, here's the deal. Antoine is now a Hebrew Israelite. You know, those really angry-looking black guys with the signs? And apparently they don't take too well to homosexuality.
God is against gays, but the Most High is going to destroy every lesbian in America.
Lovely. So Antoine has renounced himself, saying, quote, "I don't need a Mercedes-Benz. I don't need a big house in Beverly Hills. All I need is the Most High." We now go to Antoine's Most High for comment.
Hey, Sharon, how are you?
She is divine.
It's become like the popular thing. You come out, you get a lot of attention. He's now doing the opposite of it. Going in. He's still going in a bunch of guys.
To show you when he made that statement and said, "Well, now we want to show you his Most High," they showed share, man. They completely mocked the Most High with that. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that these people pride is gonna get them flamed quickly.
Pride of life.
Exactly, the true pride of life.
Has pants too. As much as he wants to say he's not.
He had a bad experience or something.
Welcome to the club. What happened?
Okay, let's save that for another time. So, to wrap it up, the Most High is telling Antoine to not be gay anymore. And that's the bottom line. Speaking of bottoms, thanks, Antoine! interrupt this program for the most shocking news ever.
That was on.
I'll say something about Jason Collins. I had a chance to talk to him yesterday.
They ran that on TMZ. Now the interesting thing, the reason why I brought this out as an example, is that same week that this brother right here was coming out and saying, "Yo, I'm renouncing this wickedness. I'm turning to the Most High's righteousness." Right. That very same week, they brought the faggot out in the NBA and promoted him wholesale, which is Jason Collins, the first openly gay in the NBA. That very same week, which shows you that war is like this.
And it happened. The Jason Collins thing happened first, I think.
It happened first. It hit the news first, rather. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then here, the Most High coming through, slaying, and brought once again one of the fruitiest brothers in our nation out and cleaning him up. So showing you that the Most High is making war as well.
The irony.
And now they got that female Brittany Griner, that 6'8" woman basketball player who's also coming out openly gay.
As if we didn't know that 95% of them is that way anyway. But it's just showing you that the war is escalating. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's headed. But let's see what the chief of America had to say about Mr. Collins. Now, mind you, they ran Mr. Antoine Dodson through the ringer. They mocked him and all that. Mocked the Most High left and right. But check out what they did with their president right here.
Joe.
Anybody voted for this cat in this room?
I did, I'm not gonna lie, but I wish I didn't.
You didn't know. You didn't know.
As long as you said you know better.
Huh? Yeah, if you want to.
I voted for Obama.
You voted for him? He voted for him the second time. He knew the truth.
Wait, what's wrong with him?
We'll see. All right, take a look at what they ran across the nation and probably the world right here. Need it down some? I mean, probably, it ain't the biggest screen in the world. So, ready?
I met Jason Collins. I had a chance to talk to him yesterday. He seems like a terrific young man, and I told him I couldn't be prouder of him. One of the extraordinary measures of progress that we've seen in this country has been the recognition that the LGBT community deserves full equality, not just partial equality, not just tolerance, but a recognition that they're fully a part of the American family. And given the importance of sports in our society, for an individual who's excelled at the highest levels in one of the major sports to go ahead and say, "This is who I am," I'm proud of it. I'm still a great competitor. I'm still 7 foot tall and can bang with Shaq and deliver a hard foul. For I think a lot of young people out there who are gay or lesbian, who are struggling with these issues, to see a role model like that who's unafraid, I think it's a great thing. And I think America should be proud of that this is just one more step in this ongoing recognition that we treat everybody fairly.
Because he's funny.
And everybody's
funny.
part of a family. And we judge people on the basis of their character and their performance, and not their sexual orientation. So I'm very proud of them. All right?
We interrupt this program for the most shocking news ever.
If he could do that on camera, what you think he'd do on camera? That's what I'm saying.
So once again, that goes to show.
All of them, man. All of them. You gotta understand. When you understand about like that all that satanic stuff, man. Like a lot of those guys that's higher ups in like in the so-called entertainment industry. That's one of the things that they feel like gives them power is, sodomizing a man. And that's serious.
That's all the way back from the Greeks
right to the
Romans. Mm-hmm. That was one of their chief things. If I can do this now, I got complete power. I done messed with so many women that don't even do nothing for me. Now I go after the men and conquer them. And what we read in Luke where it says, if you bow down and worship me, all this power I will give you. That's one of the things right there.
Exactly.
You don't know me.
So don't be shocked, man. All them guys that's in the industry that they get and then got to a certain level, they
Especially the minute they put on the dress, it's over.
Why didn't you approach? Because I know when I was singing out here, we went to Motown, and they had told us they was gonna give us a contract to sing for them, but they told us the guy that was talking to us told us one thing had to be done. We had to be willing to do anything. So he said, "What is anything?" He said, "Well, some of you might have to turn some tricks." So it was 4 guys, and 1 girl. So we like, well, hey, what ain't no big deal? Yeah, cool.
No, Barry Gordy, brother. Barry Gordy gonna want to see it.
They told y'all with
They told us straight up, you might have turned some tricks to some men. So
Exactly.
we all the brothers dropped. The one person decided to go along with was the woman.
Wow.
She went along with it.
Yeah, and I've actually like a few different people that I was friends with, like on Facebook, that said that they reached a certain level in the industry, said that the same thing. They was approached like, look, if you want to go to that next level, that's what you got to do.
That's why Cat Williams said he be going to those matching parties.
Right.
And he just bust in the room and it be somebody in there like, Professor Oakley.
I walked in the wrong room.
Professor Oakley. But that really, it goes back to the fact that we have war, and a lot of these celebrities, all the way down the line, is people that are we came up looking up at. You know what I'm saying? Our children, just like Mr. Barack Obama said, yeah, this dude's a role model. So for the young youth that's gay, they can come up and be, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like this is the war that's being aimed at us. You know what I'm saying?
Children.
Exactly.
They're trying to get to the 4-5-year-olds so they can say, yeah, I was born this way, so it's fine.
Exactly. So they coming up filled with iniquity. You know what I'm saying? But now you can begin to understand that scripture, Zechariah, when it says that 2/3 of our people, now you can see how. You know what I'm saying? Because of that war that's against us. All right.
It's all an attack. Like you have to understand too. TMZ itself, they aim their show at a certain demographic, right?
Yep.
And you have to understand that it's all an attack on the young folks, because if you have two total opposite ends of the spectrum. You got Jason Collins, who was an NBA player, and he played basketball and he was popular, and he went to Stanford and he was smart and all these things, and he came out and said, I'm gay and I'm proud to be gay and this is who I am. Don't be afraid to be who you are. And this is an attack on our youth. You know what I mean? And then you have Antoine Dodson, who came out and said, you know what, I'm renouncing the fact that I used to be gay. And what they do is they discredit him.
Exactly.
And the first thing you do when you discredit somebody is you attack their character. So, he's saying he's one of these guys. The angry black guys that stand on the corner with the signs that say this. So, everything they did was to totally, to discredit, to defame his character and to totally discredit him. So that when the youth see him, they be like, oh, that's that crazy guy he one of them crazy people now, you know what I mean? And it's looked at totally like it's off.
It's like a two-edged sword. Exactly. Like you said, like now, you know what I'm saying, they doing that. So when they see us on the corners with our boards and our Bibles saying this same thing, the youth gonna be like this. Like you said, that's them crazy guys right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And even if you don't know anything about it, you just, oh yeah, I heard about y'all. And of course, when you Google Hebrew Israelite, the first thing you see is GMS, ISUPK, and these cats. Really GMS, the cats standing on the corner, I'm talking about nothing but hate. Nothing but hate. I mean, not just hate for other races, not just hate for homosexuals. I'm talking about hate for our own women. Yeah. Just nothing but hate. It's horrible. But
that's how you know they.
Yeah, that's what you see. That's what
the
people
Most
see.
High real, because for them to even support that. But if you straight, they don't support that. That's how you know they know the Most High not with it.
It's completely backwards. Like this, and even Antoine Dodson said, I watched one of his videos where he was like, how can this guy be, supported and be, they proud of him for coming out and saying that he's homosexual. But I come out and say that I'm straight, that I want to be straight, that I want to be with a woman, and I want this and that, and they,
he gets
they
attacked.
attack me.
So at one moment they praise you, they put you on TV, oh, you're a celebrity. Now you want to come out and do the right thing, and we're going to attack that.
Yeah, he must have had a little bit of the Most High wisdom on him, because most people wouldn't even have seen that, man, because...
Brother, for that, that's what I say, man. For that, the Most High used one of the, I mean, you don't get no more fruitier than that cat. For real. I mean, seriously. It really doesn't get worse than that. And the Most High took him as an example. And that right there should instill some fire in us. Like, man, the Most High can take the basis, man, and turn it around and represent him in this earth, man. Because this is a war. This is a real war we in, man. A lot of our people is falling casualty. Majorly. You know what I'm saying? We got to be...
Cats that's been in this
for years. Exactly.
Some of them is the main ones.
Right.
Because when you in something for so long and things don't move at a pace you feel like they should move at, you get complacent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get complacent and you tend to fall off because it's kind of like it was trendy at the time. You know what I'm saying? It's a fad, but with people that's in it and been in it for years, it becomes a way of life for them. It's nothing else. What else? What can you see? Can you see yourself turning away from this and going into something else? I can't see myself doing nothing else.
But it's happening.
It happened.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I mentioned, didn't really not to put it out there like that. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't have people amongst us, man, that it didn't happen to. You know what I'm saying? That
I see it on Facebook.
And to touch on that. The reason that happens is because just like what we were just talking about, you got people diving all into these other books and dealing with these different testaments of this and assumption of that and these apocryphal books, and they don't have a strong foundation in the scriptures. They don't have a strong enough foundation here to be able to dive off into this other book to be able to assess if this book is legitimate or not. You know what I mean? How can you step off into something else when you have no foundation? So anything that sounds good when you have nothing to compare it to, it's just going to sound good and it's going to pull you.
Exactly.
Especially if it supports the flesh aspect.
Right.
That's the big one. If you can't keep the Shabbat, and this book say that it's all right to break it because you in captivity anyway. Oh, that's perfect for me. I'm running with it. That's what's happening.
You reason, you try to, like you said, you reason around it because it's comfortable. Something else is comfortable. It's uncomfortable to shut my life down for a whole 24-hour period and just rest. That's uncomfortable for certain people.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable to not be able to go to the store when I want to go to the store. It's uncomfortable to not, fix a meal when I want. It's Saturday. You know what I mean? It's Friday night. And it's uncomfortable, but But when something suits you and you can, if we can reason your way around it, well, it's not really this, it's kind of that. And and people do that all the time. Yeah, you'll trick yourself out of it.
You sit there for hours.
What about this book?
I could do it this way.
What about this one?
I mean, you see it all the time. Just like if it was this one particular sister that contacted me, contacted Quab, contacted Dean, contacted all of us, asking us this one particular question. Asked us all the same question, and we talked about it one time. Like, yeah, I talked to her too. And we all gave her the same answer. And she just kept contacting the next person until somebody told her what she wanted to hear. Not what was right. Till somebody told her what she wanted to hear, and she took that one person, their opinion, over these 4 or 5 brothers that told her what the book say.
That's how people do precepts.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to keep them.
See one thing, like,
And it's crazy. It's crazy. But that's what people do. Like I said, when it's not comfortable for them. And they're not willing to change who they think they are to be what the Most High wants you to be.
Right. So let's finish this out. Let's go. Let's check out our weapons to engage in this war and to win this war. Let's go back to Ephesians 6. But just like any soldier, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to bang with the enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Bang in the paint.
You got to be able to bang with that sword and that shield. You got to be able to, you know what I'm saying, be Be deadly with that sword, that shield, everything you're going to need in that war. So let's take a look at Ephesians 6 and we'll pick it up at the 10th verse.
Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Most High.
So finally, we got an understanding who our enemy is. We have a basic foundational understanding how he operates. So finally, my brethren, read.
Be strong in the Most High.
So be strong in the Most High, because at the end of the day, our strength and our power comes by way of the Most High. Nothing that we could really do, say, whatever, it won't defeat the adversary. Our adversary honestly is stronger than us. You know what I'm saying? He's dealing in a realm that we can't even see right now. You know what I'm saying? So be strong in the Most High. Read.
And in the power of his might.
In the power of his might. So we need to trust in the Most High's might. He's the one that really gives us the strength to battle this thing out. Read.
Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
That term wiles means devices or the plans, the tactics. You know what I'm saying? That the adversary uses against you. Put on the whole armor. When a United States soldier get ready to go to war, he picks up what? Body armor, whatever type of burner he chooses. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be airplane, whatever the case, he straps up to go in and battle with their enemies. We have to do the same thing. But our weapons are weapons that's spiritual. Drop down to the 13th verse.
Verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
And as we showed in the beginning, we surely are in the evil day. As we've seen between the brother Antoine Dodson, Barack Obama, the whole nine, it's showing you we are in the evil day. Read.
And having done all to stand.
Having done all to stand. So put that armor on and stand ready to fight. Don't sit down. Don't get scared, but stand strong. Don't run. Stand right there. Let's check out the weapons we got. Read.
Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth.
Having your loins girt about with truth. Your loins represents the lower bottom of your body, which lies, your private area, so on and so forth. So in your secret area of your spirit, have that truth. Let's see what truth is. Let's go to Psalms 119 real quick. Matter of fact, before you do that, finish out that last precept in Ephesians. Y'all can go ahead and turn to Psalms 119.
Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. Therefore having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness.
So that breastplate, that represents your heart, that represents covering your chest. So cover up your lower and your chest with the breastplate of righteousness. Let's see what truth and righteousness is according to the scripture. Psalms 119 and 142. These are your weapons.
He read from 13 to what?
He read from Ephesians 6, 11, basically 10 through 13. All right, and we're going to precept that to show you what truth and righteousness is in Psalms 119.
10 through 14.
Right. Sorry about that.
Psalms 119 and 42. So shall I have wherewith to answer.
Psalms 119 and 42. 142.
Oh, my bad.
No, you 42. Psalms 119 and 142.
Hold on, I was in the right place here.
Yeah, you probably just picked it up.
Psalms 119 and verse 42.
142.
Oh, 142. Psalms 119 and 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness.
So the Most High's righteousness lasts forever. Despite what this religious institution telling us, despite what this society telling us, the Most High's righteousness lasts for eternity. Read.
And thy law is the truth.
The law is the truth. So when it says have your loins girt about with that truth, that means have your secret areas protected with the truth, which is the word of the Most High, the commandments. Let's see what righteousness is. Drop down to 172.
Verse 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are righteousness.
See that? So all the commandments, everything that the Most High say you shall do, you shall not do, those are the Most High's commandments. And those are righteousness. So have that breastplate. Have your chest protected with walking in the commandments of the Most High. Once you do that, the adversary going to have a hard time hitting you on the lower and hitting you in the chest. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have a hard time with that. Let's go back to Ephesians 6, and we'll pick it up with verse 15.
Ephesians 6 and 15. And having your feet shod with the preparation of the good news of peace.
So in other words, have your feet with the shoes of the good news. That's what that means. So in other words, be ready to go out there and walk in the behind enemy lines and bring the good news of the word of the Most High and the Mashiach. But let's take a look at that. Let's go to Matthew 28 and the 19th verse. Let's see what the Mashiach, when he was getting ready to leave and go back to the Father, what he commanded us to do, which represents having your feet shod with the preparation of the good news. The quote-unquote gospel. Matthew 28 and 19.
Matthew 28, verse 19. Go ye therefore and teach all nations.
So we are commanded. It started with the apostles. The apostles have laid down the format for us. We are to go and teach all nations. That was the duty and the responsibility of the nation of Israel. We was not chosen because we was, the best or the whatever. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't for that. We was chosen as ambassadors of the Most High. So go out and teach the nations and what? Read.
Baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Kadesh Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always.
So the Mashiach is with us always, but he has commanded us to go out and teach everything that he said, which leads you right back to the entire book, because he came in the volume of the book. So go out and teach all nations, starting with Israel all the way down to the rest of the nations, the righteousness. Let's go to Luke 14 and 23. Luke 14 and 23.
Luke 14 and 23. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and the hedges.
So this is what we are commanded. Go out into the highways and the hedges. That represents the streets today. Go out here behind enemy lines in these streets and do what?
And compel them.
Compel them. That means go out there, bring forth this truth. Put something on their mind. Make them think. Compel them to what?
Compel them to come in, that my house may be filled.
That's what the Most High is looking for. He's looking for a full house of righteous people. But we know, unfortunately, it's only going to be a remnant. It's only going to be so many that hear. You know what I'm saying? When we go out there, how many people come up to us?
Bunches of them.
But they don't really hear it. It sounds good to them. And they, listen for a second, but then they go on. You never see them again. You know what I'm saying? But we are commanded, go out and compel them. You know what I'm saying? We get ready to go do that when we leave here. Try to go out and compel our people to bring that good news. That's what it means to have your feet shod.
It's like when we out there on the streets preaching, a lot of people be coming up to us, lying, said they will come to our class, but never do it.
Yeah, they never do. They never do. There's a lot of times when we bring it forward, it's a lot. It's a whole lot, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that they got to think about. It's a lot that they're going to have to change in their life. And they know they come around, it's going to be something else. It's something to come around people that are really walking with the Most High. Your spirit gets convicted. You know what I'm saying? I know me personally, go through a hard week, come around my brothers, I be recharged. You know what I'm saying? But I know if I was in the world still, come around, I wouldn't want to sit around y'all too much. You know what I'm saying? Just to be honest. Brothers is walking right, and that sticks out.
He said, no, when he want to be around. Man, I was really happy to be around my brothers and sisters in the truth. Because I was in the nurse home, man. I can't. I got out of the world.
Right. No doubt, brother.
All them old
You say what, brother? What do you say?
All them old people I can't take it.
So you can't take it, right? All right, let's go. Let's go back to Ephesians 6, and we'll pick it up at the 16th verse. Checking out these weapons and our combat material. Ephesians 6, and we'll pick it up at the 16th verse.
Ephesians 6 and 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith.
So when you had your way, you got your loins girded. You know what I'm saying? You got your chest plate guarded. Now you got to take your shield. This is going to add additional protection. Read.
Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
You see that? So that shield of faith quenches all those fiery darts that the adversary throws at us on a daily basis. Unfortunately, he's throwing a lot of them, like we mentioned earlier, a lot of our brothers and our sisters, they getting hit with them darts and they falling off because they don't have themselves fully developed. Their faith is not fully developed.
Right.
And faith is like trusting in the Most High, having hope in Him. You know what I'm saying? All those things combined and loving Him. That's faith. Knowing that He's going to be with you.
No matter what.
No matter what. Let's take a look at that. Let's go to Psalms 46 and we'll pick it up at the 1st and 2nd verse. The book of Psalms, chapter 46, 1 and 2.
That's what faith do, is really like a shield though.
Exactly. No matter what, you mess around, have to, get paid, you get paid every other week, pay your bills, ain't got a dime. But you'll put faith in the Most High and know, you know what, the Most High gonna help me to eat every day. He gonna make sure my bills is taken care of. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have gas in my car to make it to work.
That's hard.
That's faith, and that's a hard thing to do. Like, where my wife at? Leah. Hey, Leah. Before you even fully came into the truth, what was one of the things that you said you really had down pat in regards to faith? Speak up, man. I can't hear you. Right. And what did the Most High do? He always made a way. That's having that faith that you can't fathom it. You don't know where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? That's something else right there.
Right.
Let's go to read that real quick. That's Psalms 46, 1 and 2.
Psalms 46. The Most High is our refuge and our strength.
The Most High is our refuge and our strength. Refuge is a place of safety, or like a shield, protection. Read.
A very present help in trouble.
The Most High is a very present help in trouble. So when the adversary is coming and he tossing them darts at you in all forms, because it come in all forms, whether he attack you on the financial, the job, through your family, children, no matter what, strangers, he coming. It's all type of darts that he throw. That's just on a basic level. But trusting in the Most High, He's your refuge, He's your strength. Let's go back to the 44th chapter and pick up verse 4 and 7 to link that in with 46, 1 and 2. Psalms 44, verse 4 and 7. 4 through 7, sorry.
Psalms 44 and 4. Thou art my king, O Most High. Mm-hmm. Command deliverance for Jacob. Through thee will we push down our enemies.
You see that? So through the Most High, we will push through our enemies. You know what I'm saying? We look at it, a lot of our brothers look at that on the physical. They ready to fight and get these nations off of us quick. But it starts first and foremost with the spiritual. So through the Most High, we will push through our enemies. We will defeat him when you apply these weapons right here. Read.
Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us.
So that's why knowing the Most High's true name is so important. Being called by His name is so important. Because through that, when we call upon Him, He's dead. He's our very present help in the time of trouble. Read.
For I would not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us.
So once you enact all of these spiritual warfare techniques against the adversary, he's gonna be ashamed. Because he gonna see, dang, this dart ain't working. You know what I'm saying? I sent this chick after choir. He ain't go for it. He loves his wife too much. You know what I'm saying? When you apply these things, them darts is nothing when you have that faith. Let's go back to Ephesians, and we'll pick it up at verse 16.
Ephesians,
no, I'm sorry, we read that already. Let's go to verse 17.
Ephesians 6 and 17. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High.
Which is the word of the Most High. So that now we almost completing that armor. You know what I'm saying? You put that helmet on, and what does that protect? Your mind, your head. It protects their head. And then that sword of the Spirit, that's what you swing. That's what you use to poke back at him. So when he throwing them darts, you swing that sword. He gonna have to duck. And eventually you swing it good enough, we're going to see what he does. But let's take a look at the head aspect. Let's go to Psalms 37 and pick it up at the 39th verse.
Psalms 37?
Yeah, Psalms 37. And the 39th verse.
Psalms 37 and 39. But the salvation of the righteous.
The salvation of the righteous. So that's one thing that we can bank on. If we continue in the Most High's righteousness, keeping His commandments, and developing our mind to walk like the Mashiach did, we got something to hope in right there. Read.
But the salvation of the righteous is of the Most High. He is their strength in the time of trouble. And the Most High shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in Him.
See that? So you trust in the Most High. Put that helmet of salvation on, knowing that if I do what the Most High tell me to do, if I protect my mind, keep the commandments within, I'm going to be protected. The adversary is not going to be able to get to that head shot and knock you off. You know what I'm saying? Let's check out that sword of truth. Let's see how the Mashiach swung that sword of truth to keep the adversary away. Let's go to Matthew 4, and we'll pick it up at the 4th verse. Let's see the sword in action. We are the disciples. He's the master. He's the sensei. We the young grasshoppers. Let's see how he swung that sword.
Matthew 4 and 4. But he answered and said, it is written.
You see that? It's the word. The Mashiach cut him off at the pass. Adversary coming this way, throwing them darts. He hit him off with what?
It is written.
It is written. Read.
Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
You see that? So them darts came, swung that sword, chopped them darts down. Got the adversary ducking. Right? Drop down to verse 7.
Verse 7. Hamashiach said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy power.
So the adversary said, go ahead, throw yourself down. You know what I'm saying? His angels will be able to do this and do that. He actually came back with the script. But the Mashiach hit him with the proper understanding. Swung that sword again. It's a no-go for him. He got dude bleeding now. Let's drop down to verse 10.
Verse 10. Then saith Hamashiach unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Most High thy power, and Him only shalt thou serve.
You see that? So he swung that final blow. How Shaitan say, come on, worship me. I give you all these things. He said, no, beat it. I'm going to worship the Most High. And what did the adversary do? Read the next verse.
Then the devil leaveth him.
So that brother left beat up, battered, and torn. You know what I'm saying? From that swung being swung at him properly. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same way he did that. That's how we got to do. But that's staying in the word constantly. He constantly hit him with the word, the commandments, the righteousness that's laid forth in the word of the Most High. That's that sword that we got. That's why it's imperative to stay in this thing on a daily basis. Not just the Shabbat, you know what I'm saying? Not just on the feast day, but on a regular basis, sharpening your sword and swinging it. All right, let's go to James 4 and 7. Let's close it out. Last two verses. So once you strap up, put the armor on, learn how to swing that sword properly, you're a deadly warrior for the Most High. You swing it, this got to take place when he comes for war. James 4 and 7. So my James. Let's go to James, huh?
James 4 and 7. Submit yourselves therefore to the Most High.
So once again, you submit yourself to the Most High, walk in His righteousness, do those things that's meet, be a true soldier for Him. That the adversary got to do something. Read.
Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
You see that? Once you put that resistance up by being a soldier and fighting back at all his spiritual war techniques, he got to flee. He can't stick around too much. That's one thing that we got to do. We definitely, as a congregation of the nation of Israel, we got to step that up. Very. Because that brother, he's making war at us like on a secret tip, and we not really paying attention to it. You know what I'm saying? He aiming at each and every last one of us here. Each and every last one of us. I know that. teachers up here, we can attest to it. All of us is being tried like on a high level, one way or another in our lives, and that goes for all of y'all. He's trying to take each and every one of us out. That's why we got to resist. We got to stay strong. So this is why we just laid the basic foundation of the war that we in. Then we'll deal with the heavier doctrine later on. You know what I'm saying? Let's get one more script. Psalms 27 and the first verse. This is our battle cry right here. You was already there. You knew it was coming. That's why you there.
27 and 1?
Yeah, 1 through 3. 27, Psalms 27, 1 through 3. This is our battle cry right here. When you step out into this war, keep this in mind.
Psalms 27 and 1. The Most High is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?
We ain't scared of him. No matter nothing he comes with, don't be afraid at all. Read.
The Most High is the strength of my life.
The Most High is the strength of our life. He will help us to endure this thing. He promised us long, everlasting life we endure to the end. So don't be shook. No matter what this cat try to do. No matter how he try to make it seem, he ain't got nothing on the Most High. Read.
Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and failed.
They stumbled and failed. So just like you swing that sword like the Mashiach did and put on all that armor and do the things necessary, they gonna fall. They can't stand against us. Really, we honestly stronger than them. Once you link in with the Most High. Read on.
Though an host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident.
In this will I be confident. So be confident in this. Knowing this truth right here, you've been blessed with the greatest treasure that ever, man. No matter what these people think they dealing with out here in this world and all these false philosophies, getting their money and all this other madness, we have the greatest treasure right here, which give us the ultimate confidence, because in the end, we will shine to the esteem, the high esteem of the Most High. So keep these things in mind. And I say Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Shalom.
Truth is our dogma. We believe it to be man's greatest weapon against the devil.